Control Freak is a new Hulu horror film starring Kelly Marie Tran. So today, let's see if it's worth your time. Valerie, a motivational speaker, is plagued by an uncontrollable itch on her head, who becomes infected with a parasitic demon from her homeland. Hulu's horror films are a hit and miss. Sometimes they are intriguing enough for a watch. At times they really take its deeper message and it's just on the nose. It's very clear with what they are trying to accomplish within the film. They end up taking a lot of their bite-sized Halloween shorts and turning them into feature-length films. And although Control Freak isn't one of them, it feels like it. It feels like a film that is incredibly stretched out to where nothing really interesting happens for like the first 30, 35, 40 minutes of the film. And you are just waiting for something intriguing to happen. I do think Kelly Marie Tran is really interesting within this film. What they are trying to accomplish in terms of the deeper message is dealing with anxiety and that uncontrollable itch in a character that is dealing with OCD, constantly scratching at her head so much that she's digging into her head. And we learn that it's from a parasitic demon from her homeland. And so they tried to implement this horror aspect into the film, play off of the character that is dealing with anxiety and OCD. She is a motivational speaker, but she isn't living by her own words. She tells people in the audience to work at being your best self, and you're the only person that can control your future, and you're the only person that can become the best version of yourself. And so she's really holding back on her own words, constantly scratching at her head. And that, you know, the deeper themes of anxiety and OCD and impulses, but then they introduce this parasitic demon, and the themes and the messages are so on the nose, it doesn't leave the film up for your own interpretation. It doesn't leave for that imagination to come out and be more playful throughout the film and think, wow, this is so complex, and those themes are there, and the way that they wrote the parasitic demon into the film is so interesting. I never really thought that way with this film because of how simple that parasitic demon is and what it represents for her impulses and scratching at her head constantly, and the demon really trying to control what she does, and the demon in her head saying, you're not going to be the best version of yourself, you're worthless. It's so simple and so on the nose that you just can't allow for that imagination to flow throughout. You can't allow for that interpretation to be viewed differently than other people. People are going to watch it and like, yep, I understand what they're trying to accomplish. It's there. It's all just on display for everybody. And Hulu has done that so many times with other horror films, is that they want to take a very simple premise and they try to be deeper with it, and it does not work. And unfortunately, that's the case for Control Freak, is that you do have a simple, very intriguing premise right off the bat, but it does not work because of how they just really hone in on that message, and it doesn't allow for that imagination to come out. Like I said, Kelly Marie Tran's great in here. You see that she is able to flip this switch of being this motivational speaker, being very direct, being very stern with her audience, uplifting as well. When she is in front of that larger audience, she is very different from when she is behind closed doors, dealing with that itch, dealing with that anxiety, dealing with that feeling that she's worthless. And so she delivers two very good performances within this film. And the direction's fine as well. When you learn more about this demon and seeing its full look, it's pretty creepy. There is some more nightmarish moments within this film that do feel very sinister, so the atmosphere is chilling throughout this film. The look is there, the performances are good as well. It's just a very direct, simple story that I just couldn't fully buy into its themes because they weren't very challenging. It was quite simple. The deeper themes were very direct, and they just kind of said, here you go, here's everything that you need to know about this film. This is the message that we're trying to convey in the film. Don't buy into anything else. Don't challenge yourself. And Hulu's done that before. Some of the films have impressed me, but most of them are just films that they try to take the simple premise, have deeper messages throughout, and it does not really cross any path to be a challenging, very complex horror film. The atmosphere, direction, performance is good. Just the whole storyline is very weak, and I left this film unimpressed, wanting more, thinking that they could have done so many more interesting things with its premise. I'm gonna go ahead and give Control Freak a C-. Thank you guys for checking my review for Control Freak, the new horror film on Hulu. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.